Another man done a full go round. Another man done a full go round. We can tell our tales, laugh and joke, ponder all day about the words he spoke. You can run or you can hide, death will come creeping up by your side. Another man done a full go round. Another man done a full go round. Biscuits and gravy, you can smoke and drink. Don't make no matter what nobody thinks. Another man done a full go round. Another man done a full go round. Got to go when the good Lord called. It made us laugh till we cried, but we never got a chance to say goodbye. Another man done a full go round. Another man done a full go round.
Why I love this song is because it's actually in drop D, but it shows you how you can use your well-known standard tuning, chord shapes while playing an alternate octave bass line. Because drop D is just dropping, basically detuning your sixth string from E to D, and that way you can play. That way you can play this octave alternating bass. And many songs are played, down here. With these basic chord shapes. D. Now your G is not like this anymore because you have to put your G up here. So it's. And your A is. The same. So many songs are only using these three chord shapes, which is perfectly fine. I love a lot of songs played with these. However, in Another Man does a full go around, Jorma and Emmanuel kind of dares to venture out of this RAM and come up here to the octave, which would be basically just your D major chord, your E shape D major, but again you're not playing your so the 10th fret on the E is not the D anymore, the 12 is the D, so you wouldn't play the full chord. But my point is that just using this sixth interval, D as your root note and the major third, G flat or F sharp, and then you're basically just going down to C. So the chords are basically D to C and then G to D. That's D, that's your C. Here's your C shape by G chord. Using just, and then your A shape D chord. That's the main melody or theme or riff over the D chord, and then you go for the G chord. So you're basically playing just the 5th of your 6th string and 3rd of your 1st string, and then ending that A note, and then getting back to your D. Repeat, and then in the first time around, you're not playing your A chord to D. Only in the verses when there's singing over it. And then it's basically you're sliding up on the G string and you're doing the same slide. First it's an A octave for the A chord, and then it's your 5th and major 3rd of your D chord. You can of course play like you do in the verses as well. So, well, these are mainly the chord shapes. The progression, I think, is a little bit better understood with the solos, or the backing behind the solos, because they're just straight D, G, D. Maybe it goes back to G earlier and back to D, and then A, D. Now these are the things I'm not really great at explaining, but it's in the tab, so I think it's easier to get it from there. And again, what I wanted to get to is you can venture out from your but you still have that, so that's I don't know, again a riff. Now in the studio recording from Tommy Emmanuel's Accomplice 2 or Accomplice series, 2nd CD, it kind of feels to me like they're not playing the downbeat of that low D string. But I checked out the video on YouTube, and they playing it live, both of them together, and they did the full alternating with the D chord. Now, if I remember correctly, they did play to the Thumbpick. But to me it sounded a little bit better, and maybe it was a little bit more convenient to play this with my thumb, but you can do either way. Now for the 2 solos, I have chose to use the pick, and in their case, so I think in Tommy Emmanuel's case, probably just grabbed his thumb pick. In some occasions, and maybe did some hybrid picking, or just using the thumb and his fingers. But again, all the licks in the solos are following your chords: D, G, D, G, A, D, A, D. And it starts with the major pentatonic. So again, so this is sort of the first position, and the second solo starts with these are mainly the shapes that you need to know. Or if you are jumping back to the first solo, that's a pre-bend, so it's not, it's you bend and then pick and release. That's sort of a Stevie Ray Vaughan-ish lick, which you would play down here, but I can't do that now because I tuned down to D. And that's the nice thing, because it starts out from D, but it's not going to D because we are already going for a G chord. And you have this nice that's basically your G minor pentatonic G, playing around with the G7, back to D, your classic blues. Usually you would play it in E, but we are in D now, so it's 2 semitones lower. That's a big part of the second solo as well. But right here we are just now we're doing the same thing, chromatically walking up to the third of the A, like we did with the walking up to the third of the G. Same thing, 2 frets higher. So it's again a chromatic. So the first time around you're doing it chromatically. Second time around, now it's just A and G. And this is here your D, your root, when you come back. So what I wanted to point out from the first solo is walking in, then walking down. Again, these sixths, which are integral part of the original song, the riff, the melody. So a really countryish way of playing, I think. And then the second is just using your D major scale and the Mixolydian scale, where the so in the D major, I don't think they play any D major here, so they do the major pentatonic. If you're talking about Stevie Ray Vaughan, but again, that would be in E, or you know what, E flat in his tuning. Yeah, but the point is, D major pentatonic and the D Mixolydian, where you're basically have a major scale with a minor seventh. So instead of playing the seventh, in this case it's a major, that would be a minor. Coming into the second solo, I can't really make out that the second solo in general. I think that is the one that Jorma is playing, and it's a little bit more difficult for me to hear out of the mix what he's playing. But I think it's something like that's more. That's more a little bit bluegrassish, but also more minor pentatonic of. As opposed to your main league, that's more of a major sound, because here your C is your minor 7. Anyway, and then you go again for this. Now in this case it is a G7 chord. You might know this from well, a lot of Robert Johnson songs, or you know, it is also the Red House chord. But anyway, you know, that would be up in A, but this is G. And you know, playing this, I think, over the G chord, and then the same thing that I think Tommy Emmanuel did in the first one, where you're basically, you know, sliding up for the major 7 of your D chord. And this is your D chord here, D and D7, much like your A and D7, just up here, then between the 7th and 10th fret. Your 7 on the G is your D. Now again, these are awesome double stops, 6 bass double stops, so the interval between these are 6 notes. Now the interval between the two, yeah, okay, so these are basically thirds, but the amount of note, alright, let's not get into this. And then basically jumps up here to your first position minor pentatonic chord. Now this is which I didn't really get nicely in my playthrough. These are again, you know, rockabilly or country double stops. Your Chuck Berry riff basically. So that's basically the similar stuff. Starts out nicely in, you know, major pentatonic, and then a little bit of a Mixolydian scale, and then coming up for this you know, minor pentatonic. So again, these two solos I think are really cool studies in how you play an acoustic solo and how you use, you know, basic chord shapes, basic scales to make something way more than basic. So yeah, I really enjoy listening to this song. That's on one of my playlists I created for myself. I listen to it a lot in the car when I want some, you know, chill acoustic music. In fact, that's the name of my playlist. But I also like playing this whenever I'm in drop D, and I'm also planning to create a video about why I love drop D with a couple of other songs, and this will also be in there. But you know, you can start learning it already. I'm not 100% sure that I got everything precisely, but I hope I got the, you know, the main idea, the main things, the main chords, main melodies behind the chords or the whole song, the structure and the solos as well. And we are way past the point where I start rambling on and I'm just blabbering. So this is usually a good sign to end the video. Hopefully it was of use to you, and see you in the next video.